This time on CNG Performance, we dig another one from the weeds and give it what it needs.
We are going to take this 1973 Plymouth Satellite and try to go as fast as possible for as few dollars as possible.
Because cheap is my middle name. What is going down, everybody? Welcome back, unless this is your first time with us, in which case take just a quick second, reach right down here, like this video, subscribe to the channel so you can see all the content we're trying to bring to you, and drop us a comment, because to be honest, after a long day in the shop, it's kind of cool just to sit back and chat with you guys. I'm excited for this one because we're starting a brand new build. It's a new year, so why not kick it off with a new project? This is my 1973 Plymouth Satellite that I bought when I was 17 years old. I picked this thing up for like 400 bucks out of a local nickel ad. When I met up with the guy, he said he couldn't get it to start and run. Drug it home, threw a coil and a new battery on it, and it fired right up. So I drove it all the way through high school. When I joined the service in 03, I parked it and didn't touch it again until 2004. Came back on leave for a week or two, took it to our local drag strip for a little Friday night bracket race, and did okay. This thing was a slug. Little 318 two-barrel 904 column shifted automatic, not a high-speed package. In 2005, yanked the motor out of this thing, put it in my 77 Roadrunner, and this thing just kind of sat in the weeds ever since. Well, way back in 2012, she bought us a 73 Dodge D100 long bed that had a big block 727 and 8 3/4 already in it. My original plan was to yank the drivetrain out of that truck and shove it into this. That never manifested. I ended up falling in love with the truck instead. So we were sitting around a bonfire one night and we thought, you know what? It's been about 10 years since either one of us has driven a drag car. We need to build an actual, no kidding, bracket car. This was our first candidate.
So we know that there's actually quite a bit that we need to get done with this car. Whether it's going to be just a straight up drag car or if we want to still be drivable on the street. I think we're still kind of contemplating that part, but we definitely know that we want it to be nasty on the drag strip. We have a 440 that we've already been breaking down. We've thought about, what was it, nitrous or turbo? Which way were we going?
Well, right off the hit, I have some different plans.
Okay.
So I'm not telling you no, but I'm telling you, let's wait.
Okay. So what are we going to do?
Well, I've got the tunnel rim from the Dodge pickup you bought, and I'm thinking bare bones cheap, slam it together with all the stuff I have laying around the shop, maybe a few aftermarket here's and there's.
So we already have a transmission.
We got a trans.
Okay.
We got a converter.
What kind of converter?
It's the cheapest 3,000 stall Summit Racing had to offer. It's bare bones, dirt cheap stuff.
Okay. What's the first thing that we definitely want to spend money on?
I mean, for as cheap as you want to go, you can't skimp on safety. So I feel like we need to get some tubing ordered from S&W Race Cars and try to stiffen this thing up and make it a little bit safer, just in the event I ever do end up on my lid with this thing, or if you do. We're going to load this thing up, get it to a gentleman by the name of Bill Moody out in Graham, Texas, see what he can do for us, and then bring this thing back and start building. Originally, I was going to have my brother-in-law weld up pieces of a leftover cage that I had sitting around that I think I traded for an engine a few years ago. But the more I get to thinking about it, you know, yeah, this is a budget build, and we're trying to do this, you know, as cheap as possible, but honestly, I don't think safety is one of those areas where you ever want to go cheap. It's just not smart. Well, I think we found it, folks. I see a shiny Nova sitting out there. That's got to be it.
Yeah.
That's a good color too. I like that. Does he do his work right there in that shop?
I don't know.
Huh? I guess we'll just back in and find out.
All right, here we are, guys. Dropping the 73 off at Bill Moody's place.
Hey, don't get the wrong impression. You hear a name like Bill Moody, you're expecting some big, extravagant facility. This is it. He literally works out of his shop. It's a tiny little place, but he does great work. You'll see in a minute. I hope you guys will forgive us for this odd camera glare we've got going on, but a 30-second tour of Bill's shop will tell you he's the resourceful type. It's not a huge place by any means, and he doesn't have the latest tools and hardware. He does things kind of old school, and the quality he produces is phenomenal. We had definitely come to the right person. I should have ordered the swing out kit for the door bar. That's what I was going to tell him a minute ago.
Usually, you know where the main thing's got that, it comes up, it's got that bend.
Where it bends over?
Yeah.
Where the shoulder harness goes?
I'll put it right here.
Okay.
That's about, it's just right below your shoulder right there.
Okay.
It's a rule says between here and here.
Right.
And then, is that where you'll normally be sitting?
I mean, that's where I'll sit. She might be a little bit further forward. But
Okay, well, throw your helmet around there. The main hook will have to go about right here, because it's a crossbar.
Yeah.
That way the seat will be back against. Are you gonna put a race seat in it later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put a tab on there for your shoulder harness.
Okay.
And then when you get to the race seat part and mount it, if you need to, we can put a little brace off that
back support for it.
to come back and mount to the back of the seat. But I highly recommend having it anchored right there.
Right. And then I still need to get a swing out kit for the door bars.
Okay, you want me to do a swing out? You want to crawl over it? You want to crawl over it?
I'm like you, I'm not getting younger.
Yeah, if you want to order that, you can drop ship here. What kind of engine combination you gonna put in?
Well, I've got an old motorhome engine. I'm gonna start tearing down and start strapping parts through here shortly. That's the plan anyway.
Alright.
Plans always, seem to kind of.
I hear you.
They always change.
What else you need from me, Mr. Woody?
Right now.
Nothing? Okay. Yeah, I'll get those swing out bar or that swing out kit ordered and have it sent this way.
Sounds good.
Alright. Okay. I ain't gonna take up no more of your time, sir.
I got to build a firewall.
I appreciate it. We're back from Graham, just got the car back from Bill, and already I'm blown away. I mean, we did take the time to throw some paint on it to keep the bars from rusting. And yeah, the car's kind of sat for a little bit, but check this out. We went ahead and asked him, because this wasn't part of the kit, to go ahead and do us a set of front down bars to the front frame rails, because we wanted to tie this car completely front to back to include and not limited to the subframe connectors that we actually bought years ago for her car that we never ended up using. She was gracious enough to donate them back to me to put in this car, because we have better plans for her. But we wanted to get inside of here and ignore the leaves because, well, Texas.
It's Texas.
Yeah. But the guy did it solid. I mean, the dash bar is in a good spot. He put gussets up in the corners. I know it might be hard to see, but he's got gussets on the main hoop. He went ahead and welded us in a tab for the seat belt, and he told us if we brought the car back and needed a seat brace, he'd hook us up. Went ahead and had him do us a set of door bars, because let's admit it, neither one of us are getting younger.
Yeah, you don't want to scrunch in. We're gonna need the space
For real.
to get in and out.
So, just streetcar things, that'll make it kind of nice. And you can see he built those cover plates to go over the rear footwell area where he had to cut out to make the passage for the subframe connectors. He came in on the support bars, put his feet down in the corners here, give him a solid platform to weld to. The fit and finish just blows me away. I mean, he just made a couple marks on a window and nailed it. And moving into the trunk back here, Chrysler frame rails are a little weird. They're kind of inboard from where the down bars were going to land, so he went ahead and he offset the pads for the down bars going into the trunk. And I mean, just unloading this thing off the trailer. It's surprising how stiff this car is, which is what you want. You don't want the body to flex, you want the suspension to do all the work. And yes, before anybody says anything, that was my impression of body work in 2001, okay? So let that be a lesson. 22 years and it's still holding strong, okay? So I don't want to hear it anymore. But no, we're thrilled. The car's in solid shape. He was super good to us, and honestly, he got this thing turned around way faster than we assumed he would. Bill, if you're watching this, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't say it enough. I know this is just an ugly old rusty brown Plymouth, but we really appreciate you coming in and hooking us up for that. So now it's back to us. We got hard work to do now. We've got, yeah, thanks. We've got 440 on a stand that is in shambles. Needs a lot of attention, a lot of parts. And then I know some of you are looking right over Cassandra's shoulder, seeing a bench full of stuff. And yes, that's all for this car and this engine. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Probably won't make it for the season opener, but we're going to try real hard. I'm excited to have an actual race car finally after so many years.
Well, I mean, it seems like we're going to have a lot to do. It's probably going to cover a couple of episodes, so stick around. You'll definitely be seeing Brownie a lot more, and we got a lot of work to do especially if somebody is going to make it to racing at any point this year in 2024.
I don't like the way you point me out like that.
So subscribe, like our video, leave us a comment, and stay tuned.
See you guys.